everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be closing out January's financial month with you. So I've logged all of our expenses throughout the month of January. This includes regular expenses like bills and eating out and gas and all of that, as well as if we spent anything from savings. So this is basically everything that left our account in the month of January, and I'm excited to share that with you. We also have some new goals, new financial goals for the year. So I have new trackers that we'll be working on together in this series. So anyway, I'm excited to share with you. Let's go ahead and dive in. This is my YouTube notebook for the year. So lots of stuff in here, but some dedicated pages for my closeouts. So I like to see my financial categories broken down in percentages and then in a pie chart, because I like to visually see okay, yeah, bills was most of it this month, and look, spending was this yellow part, and travel was very little, etc. It just helps me put everything into perspective. So let's go ahead and begin. I've got my cheat sheet here next to me for my numbers. So first up is bills. We paid $4,272 in bills this month. For those of you that are newer here, my husband and I own two townhomes, one in the suburbs of Minneapolis, and then we have a lake home in northern Minnesota. So this includes both of those mortgages. It includes the, electric, the gas, the water, all of the regular bills. It includes my phone, as well as subscriptions. So any kind of regularly occurring bill or semi-annual bill falls in here. The only call out I have is that it wasn't more expensive month for the cold weather, just, super duper cold here. So the power bill and the natural gas bill were higher to keep up with that. Next is beauty. This is $400 we spent in the month of January. I got my hair done. I get my hair done twice a year generally. So I got it cut and some lowlights and stuff like that put in. My husband also had a haircut, and then we had a couple of miscellaneous purchases. So my haircut was definitely the bulk of that. But again, I only get my hair done twice a year. So I kind of save up for it and then I go do that. We did not do any monetary donations this month, so that's $0. And then gas, I was actually surprised. I had to go check that this was the right number. So we spent $96 on gas for our vehicles. I know that January was cold, but and we weren't really going anywhere, but I didn't realize it was that much. My husband is also back after holidays and everything with his normal travel. So my husband travels for work regularly. I also had a work trip in January. So there was a whole week where my car was just sitting in the airport parking lot, and a couple of weeks for my husband too. So I guess that does kind of check out. Okay, gifts. I spent $57 on gifts in the month of January. Nothing too big. It was one of my coworkers' daughter's birthday, so we did something for her. And then it also, I did buy a couple of things for Valentine's that is coming up. So that is also, I track anything in the month that I actually spent the money, not the month that I get whatever I ordered, if that makes sense. Okay, groceries. We spent $886 on groceries. My husband and I typically eat a pretty high protein diet. My husband has to watch his blood sugar, so we prioritize a lot of meat, a lot of vegetables. In our household, we don't really use carbs like pasta or rice as fillers. I have been using Butcher Box to get a big bulk of meat, and I've really been enjoying it. I have decided to step down a tier though. Instead of being at the biggest tier, I'm at the middle. I could see us in the summertime going up because we grill more and all of that, but for right now I think the middle tier is the sweet spot. So anyway, all that to say, $886. And then health, we spent $279. We had some prescriptions that we need to renew. These are online pharmacy through our insurance to get 90-day supplies of things. So whenever it's time, I just load up on everything we need to get. So that was the bulk of it. I don't think there were any other miscellaneous health purchases, at least not that I can recall. Home is $51, and this I had to get a couple more furnace filters, and then we also got some wood to burn. We have a wood burning fireplace, so we got a little bit of wood to burn up there too. Miko is our cat, and I spent, let's see here, $80 on Miko. There we go. My pen's getting skippy. So I got a supplement for him that our vet recommended, and then I also bought him a heated cat bed. It has not been delivered yet, but I'm so excited to give it to him. Miko is 13, and I just want him to be nice and warm and cozy, so we can call that a Valentine's Day gift, but yeah, that goes under the Miko category. Miscellaneous was $95, and most of this was on shipping. We had to ship a pretty like large and awkward heavy box, so it was just a little bit more expensive to do that. And then there was something else, but it was like $3, so I don't remember what that was. Spending was $13.86, so this is all discretionary spending. This includes things like clothing, it includes eating out, any entertainment, like all of the like discretionary personal spending things. So this is for both my husband and I together. And looking at my cheat sheet, because I do break it down further in my spreadsheet, the bulk of it was for entertainment this month, followed by eating out. We didn't buy any clothes or anything. We actually had a return, so we got a credit back. So for entertainment, we went to the movies twice, which was fun, and just like a nice activity to do in the winter when there's nothing to do outside. And we also bought some tickets to a live music concert that's going to be later this year, so we kind of like pre-spent that. And then we also both got some books, and my husband is really into like these leather bound beautiful books. For me, I just like the novel, and then I resell them on Mercari, so I'm not like as into like the quality of the book. I just want to read it. But for my husband, he does like to buy like nicer books because he will reread things pretty regularly. So he's building a library a little bit, so he got a couple of those, and I also got a couple of books because I finished books and that I was selling. So anyway, I'm kind of doing, at least for me, a one in, one out with the books, and that seems to be working well. So anyway, all that to say, that was that. And then we also did some eating out, more like delivery, but we try to only do that once a week. It's kind of like our treat, our convenience thing, and it works well. Okay, travel was $244, and this was for work travel. So I don't travel for work super frequently, but when I do travel for work, I submit expense reports, whereas like my husband has a corporate card, so we never really like deal with his work travel stuff in our personal budget. So I did get my reimbursement, so it kind of washed out, but I do like to track it. So yeah, that was that. It wasn't like anything fun really. And then vehicles, we spent $0. So our total for January, we had $7,846 leave our accounts. Let's go ahead and jump into these trackers that I have. So I have some investing goals for the year. This is just for me, not in combination with my husband. So one of those is to max out my 401k, which the most I can put in is $24,500. I have this come out of my paychecks automatically, so it's not something I actively have to do. It just happens. I also have an employee match for my 401k, and it's just percentage based, so it doesn't actually have to max at $3,000, but that seems to be about where things end up generally. And then I also have a HSA account that I'm maxing out, and I have a goal to put $2,000 into my brokerage account. So I'm using this tracker to track that progress. I'm just going to write in like how much went everywhere. I've already kind of made some marks here, so I'm just going to color these in here quickly, and then we can move on to the next tracker. But I like to visually see where I'm at so I can have like a good kind of baseline of what I still need to do, or if I'm ahead of schedule, that type of thing. All right, so there's that, looking good. And then I also have goals to bring in extra income and contribute to the emergency fund. So for extra income, my goal is to find $3,000 extra this year. This could come from like YouTube checks. This can come from selling things, kind of however. So I was able to bring in $1,005 this year already, and I'm just going to mark this as we go, as I'm talking. So that's super exciting. Most of it came from selling stuff. I also got a bonus at work, and with that, I only count what I actually netted, not like what the gross amount was because taxes and all that fun stuff. And then I also had a YouTube check in January. So starting the year off really strong with $1,000, 1,005 towards this $3,000 goal makes me feel really good. I'm super excited about it. And maybe I can even surpass that this year. I don't expect, you know, all of the other months to be at that $1,000 mark. January was definitely kind of a special month. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And then what I've been doing is 10% of everything extra goes towards my emergency fund, and 10% also goes towards my brokerage account. So that's been a good mix. So for my emergency fund boost, my husband and I have a joint emergency fund. I also have a separate emergency fund, like a personal one. My husband knows about it. He's supportive of it. I'd be supportive if he wanted to have his own savings account too. I think it's really important for everybody, women, men, anybody in a partnership, to have access to their own money in, you know, any circumstance that they need to leave a situation, they can. So I have the goal to add $1,000 to my personal emergency fund. As a couple, we are also building our joint emergency fund after we used about 20,000 of it last year on a new furnace, a new AC, and all of that fun stuff. So this one is separate than that. So I put $182 into my emergency fund for January. I have, you know, I think I'm just going to color these all the way in. So I have $50 a month going over automatically that I just have scheduled with my bank. And then I decided that 10% of the extra income will go towards my emergency fund as well. And I'm going to connect it to my empties. So I do beauty empty videos here on YouTube. And for every empty, I'm going to earn $1 to put towards my emergency fund too. It's just like fun, extra motivation. So yeah, that was a good month. I'm well on my way. I mean, I know that if I just leave the auto draft that automatically transfers that 50 every month, that already gets me to 600. So really I just need to find 400 extra dollars to put into my emergency fund, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. So anyway, I just like having some visual trackers. It makes this whole process a little bit more fun. And I have now trackers that I've been using for a number of years, and it's just fun to see them, you know, like reflect back on them. Okay, so that's it for here. The last tracker that we're going to do, this is for the mortgage. So I own the townhome here in the city. I bought it before my husband and I knew each other. And ever since I've owned it, I've been making one extra payment a year. So what I like to do is just write in the amounts that I'm actually paying versus the printed amount is what I should be paying. So I actually paid $411.77 in interest, which I should have paid $436, but because I've been making extra payments, it's lower. And then here's the principal. I should have only lowered my principal balance by $316, but I actually lowered it by $402.14, which is very exciting. So what I do here is I just have now, this is my current balance on the mortgage, and I highlight when I surpass any of these printed numbers. So 127,112 is lower than 127,238. So we're just gonna highlight there, and that is that. It's kind of like a slow burn, but every bit adds up. And this is finally going to be the year where I will flip from paying more in interest. And sometime probably in the summer, I will actually start paying more towards the principal than interest. So that will be very exciting. So that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for checking in. Would love to hear how January went for you. For those of you that are, you know, into budgeting and finance and keeping track of everything, would love to hear what your goals are and what you are working on this year. For us, we don't have any debt besides our 2 mortgages for each of our properties. So yeah, we're just really focused on rebuilding the emergency fund, investing more money, and then we might do some house renovations this year. We've been kind of talking about it. We've met with a contractor, so we'll see how that all goes. But for now, our mode is just to save money and be happy. So thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in my next one.